It's game number 3 of the 6-game homestand for the Edmonton Oilers as they look to get back in the win column. They've dropped 3 straight, once on the road to the Kraken, twice here at Rogers Place to the Kings and the Wild as they welcome in the Boston Bruins to town. They are playing in their second half of a back-to-back. Patrice Bergeron scored the lone regulation marker last night in Vancouver, but they ultimately dropped that one via the shootout. 2-1 was the final there as Bo Horvat notched the shootout winner as the Canucks are now 2-0 under new head coach Bruce Boudreau. As for Edmonton, after starting the season 9-1, they're 7-7 in their last 14 games. Connor McDavid was asked about that post-game a couple of nights ago, and he said that's what a good start gets you. It gives you a little bit of leeway and a little bit of time to figure things out. Well, they look to put it all together here tonight as they look to get further reinforcements here tonight, as it looks like Cody Ceci will be available for the game action tonight. Chris Russell was his defense partner, while Stuart Skinner will get the start in goal. This is the Oilers TV live pregame show. I'm your host, Tony Barr. Thanks so much for making us a part of your morning. You know the drill. We're going to hear from a couple of players and also head coach Dave Tippett in just a few moments. Stay tuned.
Hey, Zach.
Hey.
Looked like you guys focused a little bit on the power play this morning, and I don't expect you to give us a bunch of secrets, but if you were kind of headline what you're looking for more of with the man advantage, what would it be?
Yeah, I think just staying with it. I think obviously we started off really, really hot, and over the course of the season you go through lulls and times when the puck's not going in, but just sticking with it, just looking at different ways to create different looks, because as the season goes on, penalty killers, they watch a lot of video, they see what you're doing, and they adapt, and then you have to adapt to that.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like the pre-scouts and you're 20 games in, so teams get a better feel for it. How much do you have to continue to try and evolve it start to finish for it to stay fresh and good?
Yeah, and I think you always have the advantage, obviously, being 5-on-4. So even if the PK knows what you're going to do, you have different looks and different options, so you can you can make a read and make an adjustment in play. It's just about staying patient and we have a lot of confidence in the power play and our ability to capitalize, and it's just about not getting frustrated and just sticking with it.
When you're trying to get out of a losing streak, and you're giving up the first goal every night, does it become more important to score first and then be able to say, hey, maybe tonight's going to be different? A mental thing?
No, I mean, I think obviously, I don't know what the statistics are, but it seems if you score the first goal, you obviously have a way better chance of winning. So I don't know if the two go hand in hand, but definitely you don't want to put yourself in a hole. And that's been the case a bunch, and a bunch of the games where we've let up the first goal, we've come back and won. But you make it a lot easier on yourself if you go out and get the lead.
You may have played some important games against the Bruins, and does it bring out, for you, a guy that's been in some wars with that, playing against that uniform, does it bring something out in you when they come to town?
Yeah, you're definitely familiar with the way that they play and the players that are over there, and definitely, I mean, I think just a personal rivalry, I guess, just having played them so much and played them in big games and being on the wrong end of it. So, you have a lot of respect for the guys who are there and what they're able to do, and you're aware of their abilities. And I think for me, it's just, for our team now, we want to get back on the right track, and this is a good team and a good test for us.
Last one for me, just in terms of keeping that even keel. You guys did a lot of really good work early in the season, so when there were lulls like this, it didn't kill you. Do you have to kind of capitalize on that space you've given yourself by not getting too low when things aren't going good for a few games? Yeah,
100%. I think I think we're a really confident group. I don't think that the confidence has weaned at all. I think it just for us, it's another day. It's another, you put the past behind and you just go out there and play, and we're really confident in our ability and our team and what we're able to do. So we're not thinking too much about it. We're just get back out of here and, good test. It's all about building towards something bigger and making sure that you're doing all the right things.
Okay, thanks, Doc.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
If you kind of thought on the Bruins, they're, maybe not playing at the same clip that they have been in recent years, but there's some pretty high quality players over there that a defensive minded forward probably can get up for.
Yeah, they're a great team. I think they play the right way. I think that they've had a lot of success on them recently because of the way they play, and they obviously have some pretty dynamic players up front that you always have to be aware of. That top line is lethal whenever they're on the ice. So yeah, they're a great team, and I think we can take a lot out of their game and put it in our game if we want to have success moving forward.
As depth lines, third and fourth lines, the difference between you guys contributing or not can mean the difference between a win and a loss on a lot of nights. How do you guys, as a group, sort of try and keep pushing that ball forward to keep pushing and contributing 5-on-5 and to try and be a difference maker?
Yeah, I think that, for my line in particular, especially, I don't think we need to be looking for goals and assists all the time. I think those are pretty few and far between for fourth line guys, but I think that we need to be contributing in ways that bring energy to the bench and the rest of the team, which is, spending time in the O zone, holding on to pucks and making plays. But I think that a lot of people are looking for goals and assists, but that's not an easy thing to do, and the ice time that's given as well. So I think we're finding ways to be effective in other ways. I know for myself personally, that's, on the penalty kill, I think the penalty kill has been good, and they find ways to contribute in that way too, and there's lots of different ways you can find ways.
Derek, I just want to ask you about, it seems when you guys fall behind, the bench gets short pretty quick when you're chasing the game, and how does that affect the guys a little further down the line? Because you don't get a chance to get in a rhythm, especially if there's a lot of power plays and penalties and things like that. But the minute you guys fall behind, it looks like suddenly you're in a chase mode, and then the top two lines are coming over the boards a lot more often.
Yeah, it for sure feels like that. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard when you're sitting there for, I don't know, whatever it is, 10, 15 minutes at a time, and then you're expected to go out there and contribute. It's hard for sure, especially when that next contribution comes on the PK where, you're flying around the ice, stopping and starting, getting shot lanes, and it's definitely a mental grind, a mental battle to be able to stay in it, be willing to, sacrifice yourself in terms of getting out there. And when you do get out there after a long stint on the bench like that, it's about keeping it simple and short, because you don't want to get too extended out there. Your legs are a little tight, gets a little built up. So it's, it's definitely a difficult thing. I don't know if everyone realizes it, but it's not easy.
Derek, is Bergeron a role model for a lot of centers in the National Hockey League?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I think about that on a day-to-day basis, but I don't know how he couldn't be, especially for a guy like myself. He plays both sides of the puck so well. He's strong on face-offs. He kills penalties. He's excellent on the power play. So, I mean, what's not to like?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
You had a brief conversation with Connor to start the practice, an extended conversation with Tyson at the end of practice, and a lot of power play.
Connor?
Just a little talk, or it was Galdson actually with Connor, you with Tyson. Just a lot of work on the power play on a game day. Just a thought on, sort of trying to get that jump started right now for you.
Well, we're just looking at different things in our game. You're always working on things that you can become a factor in the game. We've been doing that all along. We thought we took some steps ahead last game. There's still some areas that improve, and every game is different. You go through, we had a bunch of power plays last game early in the year. That was deadly for us if we got power plays. Didn't come through. So there's things there's experiences you go through in games like that you work off. When that doesn't go right, what else happens right? So you're trying to build your game all the way through it, and we have those conversations with players about that all the time.
With Niemelainen, if we're reading it right at practice, looks like he goes tonight. I guess you call these three guys up, and with one of them still in the lineup, it ends up being him. What is he showing you, and what element is it that physicality you just want to continue to have?
Big physical range. Yeah, he's a guy that he was in the discussion when the first group of guys came up, and then we got another injury, so he came up after. But he's come in there. He's an interesting player. He plays with a real purpose, and a big, strong guy. We like his range, his puck movement. I think it will continue to improve. So we're just going to continue to look at him and see how it pans out.
You've shared with us a few times after the fact that you sensed an energy in your group that you were a little bit worried about, on some game days or practice days and such. What did you sense from your group today? Where do you think they're at in terms of just...
It's always a little better after a day off. You could mark that on your schedule. When they get the scheduled days off for them, you're going to get energy then. So there's an energy in the group because you're rested and you're But that being said, there's also, I think there's a purpose in the group where we recognize we haven't, we've lost 2 in a row now, and that's 3 in a row or whatever it is, and now it's got to be, we got to get our game back going the right direction.
Does Cody Ceci look like a player tonight?
Looks like it. I haven't talked to him. We were going to wait and see when he comes off the ice, but he had a good skate yesterday. He's been, normal for over a week now, working out at home and stuff, and so he came and had a good skate yesterday. He says if he gets through the skate here this morning, feels good, he could be a player. He's been cleared to play and everything.
So how does a player stay in shape for a week when he can't get on the ice?
Well, there's different things. There's bikes and slide boards and all the above that you can do to try to emulate what you're doing on the ice. And
what did you miss most not having him there?
He's just a real steady defender that gives us strong minutes on as kind of a second pair, good penalty killer, so just a real stabilizer in your lineup.
Dave, bigger picture, why has Zach Hyman been such a seamless fit in your team? Like, why has he been able to adapt so easily, changing teams?
I think he's a very adaptable player. The way he plays in all situations, he's easy to get in your lineup and shuffle him around, and he touches so many parts that not just the parts that he touches, but the players he plays with, he touches a lot of those parts too. He's just a real good teammate. He's a guy that's just, his personality fits in very well with our team, and obviously his play has done a lot of talking for him, that he plays key situations for us. So been a real good pickup for us. Right.
Dave, sorry, just one more for me. Just on the speed of your game, in the nights where you haven't got the result that you want, you've talked a little bit about how you're not playing as fast as you'd like. Is that a common denominator when you're not getting the results? Is you're not playing as fast as a group?
It can be a common denominator because you don't feel like you're playing as well as you can. But we've had some games where I thought we've been slow and we still found a way to win. So it's but you're trying to play your best. Like when we're at our best is when the game is fast. We want to be fast not just fast on the rush to create offense, but fast to shut things down on defense, fast to get to loose pucks. Those are the areas when we're playing at our best. That's what you see in our game. I think with our group, when you watch the video and we slow down, especially in the LA game, our whole group was slow. We were fatigued. Like it was a late night coming back, and it's not an excuse. Still got to try to find a way to win that game, but we're at our best when we're quick. When we're quick transition both ways, offensively and defensively. That's the kind of team we want to have. We want to be fast. I think the game is played. The faster you can play fast and execute fast with poise. We always talk about play fast, but have poise with the puck. You can be a good team. All right.